Y'all know that I've been decluttering my makeup collection recently, but out of the drawers that I still have yet to go through, there are a handful of products that I feel deserve one more shot. I need to try them on again before I make that decision. So today I'm going to be doing a full face of nothing new. This is going to be a last chance fall makeup look, and maybe you can decide whether or not these products deserve to stay in my collection. So we're just going to get straight into it, but first, if you're new here, hi, my name is Miranda. Welcome to my channel where we talk all things budget beauty. If that sounds interesting to you, then become the newest member of the Slashed Squad by hitting subscribe and the bell icon. Okay, first up, I need to give this one more shot. This is the Revolution Beauty Laminate Brow. It is a double-sided brow product. We have a pencil on one end and a gel on the other. Now, this wasn't necessarily bad when I tried it. I just also wasn't impressed. In terms of like how I prefer to do my brows, I like having a spoolie on the other end of either the product I'm using or the brush, because I like to blend the color through so it's not so harsh. But on the other end, the spoolie's in gel, so I can't really just use it as a blending tool. So I'm just gonna try to go kind of light-handed, but I already feel like using this, I would need to reach for another brush to sort of finish the look. And that's not really intuitive for me. And then how am I supposed to blend the front? I'm gonna need a brush, otherwise I'm just gonna end up with block brows. There we go, let's soften up that look. I will say that I like the formula of this pencil. Like, it's very soft, it's pigmented, it is easy to brush through the brows if you have another brush to work with. Also, I don't know why this is just awkward to hold. I think 'cause it's just really thick to accommodate the tube of gel, but it just feels difficult. I think it's kind of ironic that they made this 2-in-1 product in order to make it a little bit more streamlined for application, but it ended up being more of a hassle for me at least. But let's go in with the brow gel now. This is a clear gel. Now, the one thing I do remember from testing this out is that despite the Laminate Brow name, it didn't do much to actually hold my brows. I do very much like the tiny spoolie. Makes it nice for precise application. Kind of want to go for that fluffy Cara Delevingne brow look. It's a very thin formula, which is nice so that you don't end up getting like crunchy, shiny brows, but let's see. So far that looks okay. I'm gonna see how they settle as I do the rest of my face. I'm gonna quickly prime my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer. This is not up for declutter. This is definitely going to be kept, but I want to lay down a very good eyeshadow base so that I can get the most out of the eyeshadow palette that I'm considering decluttering. The eyeshadow palette that is fighting for its life today is the Physicians Formula Rosé All Play Eyeshadow Bouquet palette. I don't have anything bad to say about this palette. This is such a great eyeshadow formula, but I think this color story is a little played out right now, and I have not reached for this in probably a year. I'm also like, hello, Physicians Formula, can we get more eyeshadow palettes? Because this was amazing when it came out, but they haven't gone to release any more eyeshadow palettes, and I feel like they have something so good in this formula that it would be a big hit if it became sort of part of their regular rotation of releases. I know that they did like a 24 karat golden palette, and I did try that out in a video, and I did not like that. That was a completely different formula, packed with glitter, was awful. They need to make more of this. So Physicians, if you're out there, if you're listening, we want more of this. I'm going to set my primer with this light cream shade. Now, this was part of their whole rose line, which is made with rose extract and cockadoo plum, which has vitamin C in it. Honestly, these like blew me away when they came out. I will say they were one in a sea of like maroony berry eyeshadow palettes that were coming out at the time. And I think I just kind of found myself over it. But you can tell that this is a very well-loved palette when I was using it. Next, I'm going to go into this sort of dusty lilac shade. The colors go on really pigmented. They're super blendable. They really hit this on the head. I don't know why they haven't decided to create more. Now, having owned this already for a while, it very faintly still holds some of that rose fragrance. It's definitely not crazy noticeable. You really have to have your nose in the palette. Next, I'm gonna go in to this matte deep purple. I'm gonna put that in the crease. They also did an amazing job here balancing out the mattes and the shimmers. And the shimmers are more like glitters. They have this kind of chunky glitter look to them. Again, that was something that like everybody was doing at the time. And on that note, is anyone kind of bored with some of the new makeup releases that are coming out? I don't know. I mean, it could be that as someone who works in this industry, I just see a lot of the same thing from different brands, but there really hasn't been a lot of new releases where I'm like, wow, I'm so excited to try that. I will say the last thing that I was really impressed with was the eyeshadow palette collection that Essence just came out with, and I did a whole video on them. Those genuinely surprised me and delighted me because, one, they were color stories that we don't really see a lot at the drugstore, and the quality was so good for the price. Drugstore prices are going up, but the quality or innovation isn't. And it's definitely leaving me a little less inspired recently, to be completely honest with you, which is why I'm sort of going through and doing declutters and really trying to rediscover what I love in my current collection. Okay, I'm just blending that crease shade into our transition shade a little bit. I'm really trying to build up that crease. Something got like muddy right here. I don't know what happened, but there's just this really weird dark spot that's standing out to me. So I want to do a very shimmery lid, but I am going to kind of create dimension here. So first I'm going to go in with this darker purple shimmery color, kind of berry. And actually I think I'm going to use my finger if my nail will let me. I'm not a huge fan of like the chunky particles within these shimmers. Okay, might need to use a brush for the inner corner because my nail is too long. Yeah, dry, these shadows don't really produce a lot of pigment, just with a dry brush, I mean, because I'm trying to kind of pack it in the inner corner with the same intensity and it's looking so muted. There we go. Wow, what a difference. Even different from applying with my finger, applying wet really gives you that metallic intensity. Yeah, you know, it's weird because it's hard to pick up the color when the brush is wet, but it applies so much better that way. I'm feeling kind of lackluster about this shadow performance besides the mattes. I was expecting this to be a little more opaque, so now this look isn't quite coming together how I expected it to. I'm gonna go into this, what looks like a true rose gold right in the middle. That's gonna go right at the center. I feel like the texture that they included in some of these shimmers prevents it from looking smooth and opaque. It's like it can look good, it's just taking a little bit. Now that I'm actually using the palette, which is exactly why I wanted to do this, I realize that I really loved the matte formula within this palette, and that's kind of how I remember the formula overall being, but the shimmers in this aren't my cup of tea. And maybe that was part of the reason why I sort of stopped wearing it, but the mattes are so beautiful and creamy. These shimmers are just a little hard to work with. So what do you think? Keep or declutter? I feel like there may be better drugstore palettes with this same color story where I'm gonna like all of the shades and not just half of them. Next, I have two eyeliners from e.l.f. These are the No Budge Retractable Liners. I bought them because I was looking for, you know, the next best pencil eyeliner, especially for the waterline, something that's not going to smear. But I kind of stopped using these because they were so waterproof that, one, they were hard to remove, but also they just set so quickly that I didn't feel that I could smudge them out or really work with them easily. So I want to give them one more shot. So I want to start off with the black pencil. Oh wait, this is blue. Nope. Okay, let's use the brown pencil. This one's called Coffee, and this is fine. So I want to tight line with this, but I also want to smudge it out in my outer corner. Usually tight lining with brown isn't super noticeable. Okay, I mean, I'm getting even tight lining coverage. Okay, I'm just gonna apply this in the outer corner. Yeah, it definitely doesn't like glide on as easily. I do feel that it is tugging at my skin a little bit, which is not super comfortable in the eye area, just compared to like my Essence pencils or my Kokie pencils. Okay, so I'm gonna try to blend this out and see how soft we can get it. I wish it was like a smidge darker. I don't know. I know it's called Coffee. It's definitely more of a medium brown. Okay, I'm actually able to soften this up pretty okay. So maybe my black pencil was dried out. By the way, as I blend out my liner, it's like displacing the shadow. That shimmer does not want to like set, just kind of getting flung. Okay, I think this might be a keep. Which is surprising because I thought this was gonna be an automatic no. For mascara, I actually do have another product from e.l.f. This is the Big Mood Mascara. Again, this was a product that I wasn't really impressed with the first time I tried it. And seeing as though mascara is pretty much the quickest expiring makeup product, this is truly its last chance because if I don't actually get use of this soon, it's kind of gonna go bad. Now with mascaras, sometimes if you open it, you use it right away, and it's just not giving you the look you want, actually letting it sort of dry out a little bit can completely change the results. I'm actually excited to see how this reapplies on me. It is definitely a very thick and goopy formula, like so much comes off the brush when you wipe it. Look at all of this that I wiped off the brush. That is a lot. They need a better stopper in here. One mascara that actually got way better with age was the Maybelline Sky High. It's already a great mascara, but I felt like it applied even better after the formula dried out just a bit because it wasn't as wet. So it was easier to apply without getting clumpy. So right now I'm just trying to carefully coat the lashes before really going in and brushing the wand through. I just really want to avoid over applying. So far, I'm definitely seeing length though. I'm not a huge fan of this very large hourglass wand. Literally, that's why. It is so hard with oversized mascara brushes to not nick your lid, especially when the brush holds so much product. I don't know, I'm still kind of on the fence about it. Well, I will say that the formula has definitely dried up a little bit since the last time I used it. I just don't necessarily know if that made it better. I don't know, like I'm already getting flaking. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna hold on to this. I don't know if this would be a repeat purchase. I feel like e.l.f. hasn't really been my jam recently. I don't know why. I feel like I've been keeping up with some of the more popular new releases and I'm just kind of like, So let me know what e.l.f. products you're loving lately. Tell me in the comments below because I need recommendations. Every time I just kind of go by what's trending, I'm never really impressed. I just wanted to do a really quick brow check-in. As far as that brow gel goes, I do like that my brows still feel soft, though you can tell that they're coated with something. They've definitely just sort of fallen into my normal brow pattern, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't look messy, and I remember saying this the first time I tried it for a product called Laminate Brow. It's not giving laminate performance. Just a clear brow gel. All right, next I'm gonna dip into one of my old all-time favorite contour products. This is the Pixi Natural Contour Powder. This used to be the only contour I would ever use, and it's still one of the more cool-toned contour powders at the drugstore. So many brands just put out warm bronzers, and we all use it for everything, bronzing and contouring. But when you think of the purpose of contouring, which is creating shadow on the face, typically that is going to look more natural if it's cool toned because shadows are not bronzy. I gotta say, I've been using a lot of warm bronzers and contours lately, and I haven't used this in a very long time. What happened here? Wait, what the hell? Did I just like miss a spot with my foundation? I'm so confused. I think I must have like touched my face somehow. I don't know. What in the world? Okay, well, I'm glad that I saw that before I applied contour. Okay, back to business. See, I feel like the cool contour looks more natural. I just don't know if I prefer it anymore. Like that definitely added definition. I don't know. You tell me, how does this look? Let me know. Moving on to blush. This is a blush that I've held on to. I really don't know why, because every time I use it, I'm like, hello. This is the ColourPop blush in Petal Pusher, and I think I held on to it only because I don't really have another shade like this. It is sort of a cool, bright pink. At least that's how it looks in the pan. On the face, it doesn't really look like much of anything. You can see I'm really going in there. This is like how hard I have to press to pick up any kind of product on the brush. But even with like this much product, do you see on my brush, it goes on so sheer. I just pushed this brush into the product and that's how much color I'm getting. I don't know, it's like the powder is just so stiff. I feel like I need to abuse it for it to look like anything on my skin. And here's the thing, like once I actually get some color onto the skin, it does look pretty. It's just kind of ridiculous, don't you think? With the Super Shock cheeks, those I kind of had the same experience with, where I just couldn't get them to show up on my skin tone without really building it up. So I thought, okay, this is a new formula, I'll try this out, but I'm experiencing the same thing. For my highlight, I'm giving the Kokie Soft Glow Highlighter another shot. I remember being pretty happy with how this performed. I think I just have a lot of other drugstore highlighters that I like better than this, so this often gets ignored. So this is the Soft Glow highlighter, and I remember comparing it to some high-end highlighter. I don't remember which one. I think it might have been the Lancome highlighter. I don't mind shimmery highlights. They're just not my favorite because I feel like they definitely accentuate the texture on my skin. Like if you have really beautiful smooth skin, then they'll look absolutely gorgeous on you, but especially because I have so much texture in this area, the shimmer always just like catches, but it is a beautiful glow. I mean, it's pretty and it's definitely the highlight intensity that I like. Y'all know that I like a strong highlight, like no matter what. I just don't know if I like the shimmer. And finally, to finish off this last chance makeup look, I'm going to give the Maybelline Ultimatte Slim Lipsticks one more shot. So I do have a full day wear test video of this lipstick and I swatch 6 out of, I think, 10 shades. And these are absolutely beautiful. They are pigmented, they're creamy, they're comfortable. The main issue that I had with them is that they feather very quickly and very noticeably. They are not transfer proof either. They will smudge, they will get on whatever you're drinking. Now, the reason I hung on to these was I thought that I might be able to make them usable with a lip liner. So I do want to give this one more shot. I'm going to pair it with my Kokie lip liner in Wine. Probably not going to be an exact match, but what I'm really trying to figure out is, will this feather as quickly if applied over a lip liner? Now, I'm not doing a full day wear test of this look because I feel like for the most part, these products are sort of obvious upon first impression whether or not they're good. Especially like with the mascara already flaking, you know what I mean? The gel of the brows already falling, and a lot of these products I've already done a wear test on. This is just that last chance for them to spark joy for me. And obviously I need a second opinion from y'all. And I'm obsessed with these lip liners. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend. They are waterproof, they're creamy, they're pigmented. Honestly, I've been wearing them just alone, maybe with a little bit of lip gloss on top. Okay, let's go in with the Maybelline lipstick. This is in the shade More Berry. Again, this is definitely more of a purple shade, or berry. I know it's a little hard to tell like how pigmented this is when I'm applying it over a full coverage lip liner. But if you want a closer look at these, you can watch that video. I will link it down below and in a card. Honestly, these shades layer pretty well. It's just with the wine underneath, you're definitely getting more of that red pull. The lipstick didn't glide on as creamy as it does on the bare lips. Obviously, there is a little bit of that tug from the lip liner. It definitely feels different as a layered product versus alone, it kind of takes away from a little bit of what makes it a special matte lipstick and having it be so almost creamy and moisturizing because, you know, I have that barrier. So I'm sort of sacrificing a little bit of what makes the formula special in order to make it perform better. So usually when I apply this lipstick straight to my bare lips, it only takes about 10 minutes to start seeing feathering. So while I wait for it to set, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is an app called ClickHer. ClickHer is a super curated beauty, fashion, and home app that eliminates the endless scrolling through social media and only delivers a handful of new content every day. It's the best of the best that's out there in terms of fashion, beauty, and home trends. They also highlight a lot of smaller creators, a lot of hidden gems within the community, which I love. It's an app built and curated by real women for real women, and their goal is to give you just one really worthwhile click a day to show you something new that you might not have found otherwise. I know when I'm scrolling through apps, sometimes I get a little bit of information overload, especially because all of my social media is such a mix of content. So it's nice to just have one spot where I can look for the latest in beauty, the latest in fashion, and it's going to be something that's very relevant right now. So you can download ClickHer for free from the App Store. I will leave the download link in the description below. Okay, I'm back. I changed. I feel like this lipstick is actually already doing way better over a liner, and I'm still getting the very smooth appearance that the lipstick gives on its own. I do feel like I miss out on some of the benefits of the lipstick where it's usually very lightweight and thin feeling where you can't even like tell that it's on. Me keeping these would really just be to have the colors in my collection versus being a formula that I love because I'm going to need to pair them with a lip liner and the formula is not going to really stand on its own as much, if that makes sense. So that is something that I'm definitely going to keep in mind when I do my lipstick declutter part 2 because I already did my liquid lipsticks, my lip crayons, and my lip glosses. That is like an almost hour-long video, but I still have to do my bullet lipstick drawer, which these are in. So this is not the last time you're gonna see these products because they will pop up again when I do my actual makeup declutter videos. So let me know your thoughts on everything that I used today. What should I keep and what should go? Tell me in the comments below. Today's shout out goes to Baby Girl Loves Pink. Thanks for being a member of the Slashed Squad. And join me over in this video next where I share the 3 best jeans for short, curvy women. I'll see you over there. Bye!